I wanted to make this video. I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about Irene Yvette's debate style. Now, I like Irene Yvette. She's cool and all, but I think that her debate style needs to be tweaked because I've encountered her in a couple hangouts and she doesn't, a lot of times, in my view, she doesn't carry herself that great in hangouts the way she should. Now, one thing that Irene Yvette will do is, see, she has all these great videos and stuff on her channel and stuff talking about different issues going on with black people globally, but then she will take the perspective from her videos and try to transpose them on, basically on in debates in hangouts, and a lot of times that doesn't work. So for instance, I think she was it Taz she was debating, or or I think it was Obsidian, yeah, where she was debating, and they were the issue of Europe came up, and Irene was basically trying to argue that Britain and France in Europe are basically the same thing, that they have the same interest, and she was putting all the white people in Britain and all the white people in France in the same bucket, and she was trying to say, well, they're the same thing. And then Obsidian came back and said, well, you have to take into effect that that these two countries are unique to one another, and Britain is unique in Europe, given the Brexit phenomena and given Europe's history in relation to Britain's history in relation to mainland Europe, and so on and what have you. But Irene kept on trying to make this monolithic argument, and you can't do that. Okay, you can't do that when you're basically when you're how should I say it? When you're having a global conversation, okay, when you're having a global conversation, you're dealing in groups, in nations, in principalities. Okay, so you can't make those blanket statements like that. Okay, if I was going to have a global conversation about, for instance, street gangs, and I were to say that the Crips and the Bloods are really the same thing, or the Crips and the Bloods are really working for the same people, or there's no difference between them, that would be an inaccurate statement, because I can point to documentation showing the differences between the Crips and the Bloods, showing the beefs and the wars that have happened between Crips and the Bloods, showing the different gang territories and customs between the Crips and the Bloods. Okay, I can show documentation of that. I can show documentation between the policies of Great Britain and France. Okay, I can show how Great Britain and France interact with different parts of Africa in different ways that are unique to each nation. Okay, and if I'm going to have a global conversation, I need to talk about that dynamic. It would be inaccurate to simply take this monolithic global view. And Irene does that, because see, in her videos are good, but one of the things that she tries to push like this monolithic white agenda in regards to black folks. And see, that works for her channel. That works for the theme of her channel. Okay, but it does not work in open debate, because in open debate you have to be much more how should I say, specific, and you need to speak in terms of principalities. Okay, you can't just lump everyone all into the same thing. And that's where I think Irene Yvette fails in open debate. She needs to reform her debate style. Okay, she needs to reform her debate style. Now, I don't know if she'll actually watch this video or not. She may or may not watch it. She may or may not take it to heart. Okay, this video is not meant to attack her or besmirch her in any way, and simply meant to constructively critique her. Now, she doesn't have to take the advice. She probably, in her mind, I may be nothing more than just a random nigga out here running my mouth. I don't even have as many subscribers as her. I'm trying to see how many subscribers. I don't know if she got her subscribers. I know for a fact she got like 800 something subscribers at least, and she also has 2 other additional channels. Okay, but like I said, what needs to happen with Irene, she needs to really look at her debate style. She needs to become much more specific, and she needs to become much more attentive to specific international geopolitical affairs. And it's just my view. That's just my view. It's just constructive criticism. But anyways, let me know what y'all think. Hit your boy up on the Cash App in the description box. Peace.